During lunch, the school bully asks me, "Aren't you going to run away?" My response shocks him. I was just sitting down at my usual table in the cafeteria when I heard the dreaded sound of Leo's voice. Leo was the school bully, and everyone was afraid of him because his dad was the town mayor, and he could get away with murder. The teachers all turned a blind eye when they saw him hurting someone. He wasn't afraid to get physical with people. Once he sent a nerdy kid to the hospital after breaking the kid's arm just because the kid wouldn't give him his lunch money. But lately, he has been targeting me. I'm not the kind of person to take anything from anyone. My parents always taught me to stand up for myself, but even I was afraid of Leo. I jumped when he slammed his fist down on the table in front of me. Then he grabbed my tray of food and dumped the hot chili all over my head, smearing it into my hair. Normally, I'd leave immediately to find a teacher, but that has proved to go badly in the past. The last time I got a teacher, he had shoved me to the ground and started ripping apart my backpack. The teacher just laughed at me and continued telling me how great of a student Leo was and how he could do no wrong. Leo got more aggressive with me after he found out I tattled on him, so I learned to keep my mouth shut and deal with it myself. He made sure to punch me where my clothes would cover me so no one would know what he was doing, although sometimes he wouldn't aim very well. My parents often saw me coming home with bruises, but I always had an excuse. The principal himself once witnessed Leo shoving me around, and he turned around and walked the other way. I lost faith in the adults at school after I saw that. Instead of running off, I stood and faced him, anger filling me as I felt the chili seep through my clothing. It was disgusting, and I was pissed. For once, he looked a little nervous as silence fell over the students in the cafeteria. "Aren't you going to run away?" he asked. I laughed coldly. "Someone needs to stand up to you," I snarled. It was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. Leo's eyes widened in surprise, and he quickly stepped away from me. No one had ever stood up to him before. That was obvious. He turned and quickly walked out of the cafeteria. A moment later, he brought a teacher into the room just as a murmur began rising. A hush fell over the crowd again. "What is going on?" the teacher demanded. Leo had fake tears in his eyes as he pointed at me with a shaky finger. "He was bullying me," he sobbed. "He took my lunch and then dumped it all over himself for some reason." It was such a ridiculous accusation that I couldn't help snorting. A scatter of laughter washed over the students, and I could tell even the teacher didn't believe him. Yet the teacher sided with him as usual, glaring at me. "Principal's office," he growled. "Now." I stared at him. "No," I said coldly, stopping him in his tracks. "I didn't do anything wrong. I won't let this continue." "Go," the teacher snapped, "before I have to call your parents." "Wait," someone called. The student stood from her table and stepped forward, waving her phone in the air. "I have the whole thing on video," she said. "I have proof that he didn't do anything wrong. If you don't do anything about Leo, I'll be posting the video to the internet and it will go viral. I'll make sure of it." Leo instantly paled, and so did the teacher. "Delete the video," Leo said. The girl shook her head and smirked. "You're done, Leo. My dad will kill me," Leo pleaded. "Please, just delete it. Promise to stop the bullying," I said. "Promise to stop the bullying, and you need some sort of consequence for all the stuff you've done in the past." I added that last part for the teacher's benefit. The teacher sighed. "Let's go, Leo," he said. "Principal's office, and I'll be calling your parents." He grabbed Leo's arm and dragged him out of the cafeteria. The room erupted in cheers and clapping. The girl came up to me with a sly smile and showed me her phone. I stared at the blank screen in confusion. She laughed. "There was no video."